How you guys doing? This is Jared Bush, number 24 of the Packers, former defensive back, here to talk to you guys about dads helping dads, and I'll tell you a little bit about why I'm doing it. I feel like just being a father myself, having two little girls, ages 4 and 6. I definitely feel that there was no manual for me or any father. I feel like in the sense of just going into fatherhood and you see you two little girls or just see your kids come out of the womb, and I can imagine that there's a lot of love as soon as they come out, and at the same time there's some anxiety of like, man, how am I going to take care of this little being? I've never been a father before. And now, being that there's 4 and 6, I feel like I have a lot of information that I feel like I want to share, and just a sense of just understanding like where we're at as fatherhoods, understanding like how to help, and understanding that I feel like a lot of times that we try to be too strong in the sense of asking for help as fathers. I feel like women do this best in the sense of just reaching out to other friends and having chit chats and talking and walking and on the phone. And I feel like as dads that we tend to clam up. We tend to clam up. We tend to kind of just being to ourselves and not understanding like not allowing our emotions to be expressed, because we've been taught for so long that if you show emotions that you're weak, or you start to cry that you're weak, and that's not a real man. Well, in the sense of now, and today, I feel like some of the men we start to have some anger issues or some addictions or some other deteriorating factors in your character because you're unable to express yourself in an emotional way, in a healthy way. So I'm here to talk to you guys about the Dads Helping Dads segment of the series with myself, and just wanted to just reach out and to kind of explain some of the things that I've done in the past. Taking care of myself. Taking care of myself, understanding that regardless what stresses are around me, to kind of just hone in and focus on my health. I think that eliminated some of that outside noise, so that I can focus on what I need to focus on at the end of the day, and keeping the main thing the main thing. The main thing is that you're a father and you have two little girls, two little young ones that are depending on you for the long haul, for the long term. And if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you take care of your family? Right? If you're not able to get up in the morning because you're hungover, how can you provide? If you're not in the shape, or if you're not able to get up because you've been hurt, or that you just have this anger issues all the time, like how can you like progressively work in the work environment because you're unable to cooperate in a work setting? I feel like focusing on yourself and honing on yourself, some of the things that you need to do that I've done was one, just getting a nutritionist, understanding that you don't have all the answers, but you can reach out to people that definitely can help you along the way. Fatherhood is something that you're going to fail at. It's something that you're not going to get right the first time. There's something that you're going to have some trials and tribulations. There are times where you're going to just fall flat on your face and like, man, like how am I supposed to do this? Understanding that you have so many responsibilities, you have so many accountabilities, from school, from work, to getting them dressed, to getting them up in the morning, getting yourself up, grooming yourself, grooming your kids, medical, dental, so many other things that are pushing and pulling you. You got family and the friends issues. You got so many things that kind of clouds your mind in that chaos of life. And just like, how do you really hone in on those things? How do you really hone in and come back to yourself in the sense of making sure that you're being the best father that you can? I definitely feel like having a spiritual sense, learning to forgive. Learning to forgive yourself is huge. I felt like we take a lot on our shoulders as fathers. I feel like we tend to bear a lot of weight and a lot of stress in the sense of making sure that the family is okay, making sure that, one, your wife is okay, or your spouse, your kids are okay emotionally, that they're hanging out with certain friends that they want to hang out, they're playing a certain instrument that they want to play, they're wearing certain clothes that they want to wear. Your wife is, again, you're forming date nights with your wife and your spouse, on a consistent basis. Having some balance and going out with friends. allowing yourself to make those mistakes are huge. And I think in the spiritual sense, I think forgiving yourself that, hey, like if it's kind of lopsided sometimes, I think it's okay to understand that you're going to make mistakes. And I think that's where the spiritual sense comes in, and just learning how to forgive yourself. You can forgiving your wife, forgiving your kids, and some of the things of maybe that they say that it kind of just makes a flame light up in your chest that can sometimes make you angry. I feel like a lot of times that's a lot of sense men tend to go towards. I think just understanding that that spiritual sense is forgiving the fact that that your emotions, forgiving maybe your lash out, maybe like your addiction or some of the things that you've been dealing with. And just understand that you're not the only one. You're not alone in this. You're not alone. You're not the only one with anger issues. You're not the only one with addictions. You're not the only one with emotional issues or abuse issues when you were a kid, or maybe you didn't have a dad. And, you don't have an example, right? You don't have an example of what a father is supposed to look like. So you've been kind of just going by some of the examples of maybe your friends, or maybe just maybe just based off life. And again, it's again for the segment here is to maybe reach out to some of those fathers who need some guidance, the fathers who need some support in the sense of, hey man, I'm in a tough spot here, man. Like any advice would help at this moment. So that's what it's here for. Here at number 2, I think mentally, I think just learning how to cope with some of those stresses. I mean, I feel like a lot of stresses, were coming on me with, one, right, financially, that's big, right, for a father, it's big. 2, just understanding like this, the weight that's, the pressure that's on you, understanding just all the pushing and pulling, right? You got the wife talking to you, you got the kids' needs, you got everybody else's wants, and just learning how to find balance in that sense of, hey, okay, I gotta do it. Was here for John, and Lil Ashley, and your wife, and just understanding that those are things that you learn to cope with and learn to be okay with. That you're not gonna please everybody, but you try to do the best you can, and I'm sure that they do appreciate that. I think learning how to cope. One, I felt like the meditation was big for me. Understanding just that slow breathing and just taking that time to do that, I think was huge, was monumentous. Understanding that it just helps you to find clarity in what you're thinking. Understand that and understand how to process those emotions as well that you're feeling, and so that you can better express what you're feeling. Because once you find the full understanding of what you're feeling, and understand why you're feeling it, then you're able to go on and express it like, okay, how do I verbalize, or how do I articulate this to the person that I want to communicate this to? I think that's when you start finding the health, and that's when you start finding the progress in the sense of communication under stress, under some type of toil, or on some tough critical moments. Reading was big. Finding a hobby was huge for me. I picked up the game of tennis. Find a new sport, chess, pick up a new language. You got Rosetta Stone, you got plenty of apps on the phone there, and I feel like you have just pick up the phone and use your resources to help you cope. 3, emotionally is huge, right? I feel like some guys, they can be some in emotional abusive relationships, or vice versa to the wife. I definitely feel to reach out to the counselors, reach out to some of those clinical therapists that can help you heal in the sense of some of the words. Reach out to your friends. I have a good buddy named Dashik. Man, we talk. We're both fathers. We talk about our kids. He has 4 kids. I have 2. And we talk a lot, man. We talk about our parenting skills. We talk about our families. We talk about how we're doing. We check in on one another. Another former teammate, Charlie Pepper. We talk about certain things about our fatherhoods and just some of the learning aspects that we're going through, holding down the family. It's something to be had there, man. I definitely feel that, again, women do this the best, man. They do this better than us, man. I think we need to step up and just understand, like, hey, these women are doing it, man. They talk everybody's ear off, but why can't we? Because I feel like we tend to think that we're too strong, that we're just masculinity. Like, we have to be this macho man. Like, no, I don't have to talk to nobody. I'm super dad. But I think there's definitely a strength in the sense of understanding how to ask for help. I definitely feel that it can be useful and should be a resource that to lean on your friends. If it's there's something not going okay in your life, or something's not going quite the way that you thought you saw it, it's okay to reach out to those people, those family, those friends, and to seek advice and understanding that it's okay and seek guidance. I definitely feel that as men that we should do that more. I definitely like went through some trials where I felt like I couldn't help. Being an athlete, I felt like I had to do it all by myself, just to prove to people that I could do it by myself. But I was like, Jared, what are you really proving? What are you really proving here? You proving to yourself? You proving to the world? What are you proving? And I think I had to drop the ego in the sense of like, hey, regardless of who does it or who gets it right, you want to make sure that your girls, that your family is taken care of to the best of your ability, to the best point that you can. You want to give your family the best that you can. And if that's reaching out to resources, then why not? So moving on, I just wanted to say, just again, like, women do this best, man. They talk to a lot of friends, man. We might get on about like, hey, oh man, my wife saw this jibber jab on the phone, but they're definitely venting. They're expressing their emotions so that when they come back to the relationship, they're healthy because they vented. They sought guidance. They talk. I think another reason why to reach out is to build self-esteem in yourself. I think in each other, because once you reach out to that person, it definitely lets you bring along just a lot of competence, understanding that, hey, I'm not the only one. He's encouraging, you're encouraging another. He's probably telling stories that he's telling, you're telling stories about yours, and it just brings a lot of collaboration in the sense of understanding like, hey, we're both in a tough spot. Hey, we can lean on each other. We can talk about it, and make the situation better as best we can. So understanding this rally the troops, understanding you can help each other, man. It definitely creates that unbreakable bond too when you do reach out, and it's an important factor, man. It's important factor to understand that you have friends, you have resources, you have other fathers out there to reach out to. Again, this is why the Jared Bush segment of Dads Helping Dads series is on the way. I'll be filming twice a week just to make sure that I can give consistent content out there to help you guys. I'm just starting out, so bear with me. Something that I love doing, and just because being a dad, man, you can go through some tough times, and I feel like definitely reaching out, man. I just wanted to express my words. Hopefully, I inspire somebody, man. That that it's okay to be failing right now, as long as you pick up your pail, you pick up your hard hat, and you keep going. I definitely feel that you only have failures when you quit. So just keep going. If you want to cry to keep going. Don't cry to stop. So